Okie dokie, this is very impressive stuff, and oh, it's for you, Mr. Manager. Well, welcome back to the Football Manager Job Centre. It's always a pleasure to have you around, but also a shame at the same time, because no doubt this means you're still struggling for inspiration and searching for a new challenge in Football Manager 2016. Well, this is where I can help you out with, but based upon your CV right here, are you familiar with all the new game modes in Football Manager 2016? No? Well, there are a few that do promise to be quite exciting. For example, I think we've just had a new job description come through. This is the one. Right, let's have ourselves a quick read of this. So, the ability to take over any club in Football Manager 2016 and reshape the squad as you see fit. And this is titled Create a Club Mode. Well, this sounds quite exciting. Shall we take a look? So welcome to Create a Club Mode. I've just finished making myself as a manager, and now it's time to select the club that we are looking to take over and transform. For the sake of this example, we're going to be using the Premier League, and let's point out one or two things. The first is that underneath the name of every single club, Arsenal being the first case, we can see their fantasy squad budget. Arsenal's is a huge 533 million. Now this is the budget you're going to have to keep to create your fantasy team, and I understand this may be an unpopular decision with some football managers who would have preferred the squad budget to have been limitless, but I think that this adds to the charm and the challenge of the game mode, and these budgets do vary quite rapidly. We do have Aston Villa, for example, with just under 175 million. Bournemouth have the smallest of the Premier League at just under 80 million, but boasting the most is Chelsea with an incredible 706 million budget. So if you want to make yourself the best fantasy squad you can, you need the most amount of fantasy money. So let's take over Chelsea and see what we can do with them. Click Next, Create a Club. From here, you will be able to customize the club in whatever way that you see fit. From the top, we've gotten ourselves the opportunity to change the logo. If you want to click on choose, you can open up your own picture menu and just put in whatever kind of logo that you like. If you're an artist and created one yourself, you can upload that, or if you want to try and keep things as accurate as possible, just go onto Google, type in Chelsea logo PNG. That is the type of file name with which you'll make sure you get a transparent background, and from there you'll be able to upload that as well. The things that you do need to keep to are said at the bottom of the page. Choose a name, city and stadium for the club. The name cannot match that of a real life club, so the name is this first one has to be different. In this case, has to differ from Chelsea. So we will change it to, apologies, I'll just put in a capital C. I like doing my grammar in that way. We'll rename them Chelsea. You don't have to put a nickname in if you don't want to. We'll keep the city to London. Let's just put there is London. And the stadium name. Oh, I'm not particularly imaginative, so we'll just call it the. We're not just going to leave it at the. We'll call it the Fortress. There we go. And so from here, let's try and select ourselves our dream squad. So from here, this is where all the magic happens. I'm just going to fade my webcam out for just a moment so that you can see this. These four boxes up in the top right corner show the most amount of budget that we're allowed. So that shows our limit, and on the right hand side here is what's been spent so far. With Chelsea, 485 of the 706 has been spent, and this shows their entire squad. From here, if you want to just clear out everything, you can clear the entire squad. If you want to just click on players and get rid of them, you can do. So you have got as much flexibility as you see fit. So I will join you in just a moment where I've changed this squad for the better. Welcome back then to my 22-man Chelsea team that is dripping with world-class talent. We have spent 702 of the 706 million budget, and let's run you through everyone. We've got Joe Hart, we've got Manuel Neuer, we've got Piqué, Azpilicueta, we've got John Terry, Gary Cahill, we've got Laporte, we've got Krychowiak, we've got Aaron Cresswell, Luke Shaw, Dani Alves, Johan Cabaye, Nemanja Matic, we've got Paul Pogba, we've got Neymar, Theo Walcott, Andre Ayew, we've got Eden Hazard, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Robert Lewandowski. The team is simply incredible. From here, you just go next to your managerial style. You choose whatever kind of difficulty you want. The easier you want it to be, the better you obviously make your experience and your badges from there. From there, all you need to do is just confirm, and your series has begun. Before we wrap up, I want to draw your attention to this page here, which is in the board section looking at budget adjustment. And I appreciate my webcam is probably going to be taking up a fair bit of the text, so let me put everything into context for you. We've just brought in all this amazing world-class talent to Chelsea for free. But with all this world-class talent comes the wage demands of these world-class players in Messi, Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic, Lewandowski, Pogba, etc, etc. Now we have just set up our adventure. We are ready to get roaring. However, the wage demands are a huge 4.2 million per week. and our default is at 3.5 million. This is taking into account that we have just done our season expectations, and I have maxed everything. I have promised the board we are going to win the Premier League, the FA Cup, we're going to win the Champions League without any difficulties whatsoever. This is the maximum amount of money that Chelsea can give you. 3.5 million, so we're still 700,000 short per week, and a transfer budget of 35 million. Let's put all of that into the wages and see where we're finished up with. 4.210. We are still just about 36 grand short per week, so the club is actually going to be making a loss every single week on having all this amazing players at the club. Now we have to make sure that we definitely do suit to all the demands of the board, because one, we'll get sacked otherwise, and two, it's the only way to make sure we bring in enough money to keep this club stable. So my recommendation is perhaps just doing a little bit of trial and error. Make sure you've got a notepad beside you, note down the team that you have created, and make sure that you don't get into a situation like this that the finances could put yourself in a little bit of a sticky patch. Without further ado though, as long as you keep on top with that, you're going to have a fantastic time. And so there you have it, Mr. Manager. Create a club mode in Football Manager 2016. It certainly offers a wide varying amount of possibilities, and its challenges are only really limited by your own imagination. So if you like the idea of it, we'll get this job description with your CV sent off straight away. I'm sure we'll have you back in management in no time. But if it's not quite to your taste, then pop back next time. I'm sure we'll have something that you're looking for.